Hi, this is Steve Trone, Director of Teaching and Learning, here on behalf of the Learning and Technology Vision Steering Team for our district. Here with the first in a series of two screencasts this week. And this first one covers three topics. First of all, a brief update on the beta groups for our current school year, 2014-2015. Also, an updated or revised proposed one-to-one rollout timeline that's in line with our vision, and then also information on new beta opportunities that are open to teachers in the district. I do need to mention, as always, as we start here, that all of this work is built on top of our learning and technology vision that was created by the original task force in our district. The focus is preparing our students for success in the digital world and making sure that our classroom environment is providing that dynamic student learning experience that is enhanced by technology throughout a student's day and throughout their years in our district. And we focus on something we call the outer ring. And in this diagram, the outer ring is all about teachers and students using digital resources to access and analyze information, collaborate and communicate, problem solve, innovate, and create. And then also, as you look at the lower part of that outer ring, practicing responsible use of technology and continually growing in our understanding of technology concepts, operations, and tools. So all of our work is built and centered on that vision. Okay, going back to our outline for today, first topic, beta group update. Just to remind people that in this current school year, we have four groups that have been working together throughout the year with some intense conversations, learning together, and shared collaborative professional development. The group that probably gets kind of the most press, if you will, is the one-to-one beta group. We have 46 teachers across grades 4 through 12 in a variety of our buildings that have a one-to-one environment in their classrooms. And it's been neat to hear and see the student stories and teacher stories as they truly bring that outer ring to life, bring that vision to life in that one-to-one environment, truly creating that dynamic student learning experience enhanced by technology as a tool. There are three other beta groups that have been together this year as well. We have a group of 40 teachers as part of our technology integration beta. That group has been learning together and learning to use a variety of tools that we have in our district right now, not necessarily a one-to-one environment, but integrating technology into that classroom and that learning experience for students. We also have a instructional leaders beta made up of TOSAs, instructional coaches, media specialists, peer leaders, and tech support staff. And that group has had some parallel learning to the other groups as well. And then we have a group of 25 administrators that have devoted time this year learning together about how to lead forward and support and create environments in schools that foster that dynamic student learning experience. So we're really appreciative of all the time that this large group of people has put forth this year, learning together, and we're excited to build on that in the future. So if you look at our timeline, last spring of 2014, I shared a series of screencasts, and part of that was talking about a kind of a 5-year phase-in or 5-year rollout of our plan, again built upon that learning technology vision. So I wanted to revisit this, show people where we are, and then also talk about a revised proposal for moving forward with the 3-year rollout of a one-to-one environment. So as you can see here, the current school year 2014 to 15, beta groups was a big piece of that stage. And then also as we move into 2015-16, preparing for next year, we want to grow those beta groups, and you get more information about that in just a few minutes in the screencast here. So we're building our capacity gradually as moving towards setting the stage for a one-to-one environment. Also, you can see on this 15-16 slide, preparing the wireless infrastructure, which we have, but we also need to enhance. As we move forward into next year, if referendum funding is available, we'll be aggressive at enhancing that wireless infrastructure and also putting devices and mobile devices in teacher hands kind of in front of the beta. And the first step would be the first third of those grade levels that are going to have a one-to-one environment, those teachers would receive devices first. As we look ahead to the rollout, the idea was that we would phase in a 3-year plan to build capacity for professional development, to also keep our costs stable. So we're only purchasing a third of the devices at any given year. and they have about a 3-year life. The revision here, as the steering team looks forward, is the current proposal is that the first year, fall of 2016, if referendum funding is available, we would roll out devices to students in grades 4, 7, and 9. So having a foothold at the elementary, middle, and high school level in that first year. We would focus or saturate our professional development on those grade levels going into that year and prior to that year. You can also see on the chart that in blue, Chromebook carts would be added, and I don't want people to lose sight of this. The team last year, and the device selection advisory team, settled on iPad minis as a student's personal learning device, and that the staff would have iPad minis in addition to having laptops. But we also fully realize that different tools work for different purposes, and some tools are better for some purposes than others. So the idea was to, at all schools, add additional Chromebook cards, district funded. And so if that referendum funding is available, we would have the iPad mini rollout in grades 4, 7, 9, and then all schools would receive Chromebook cards to supplement that. So then moving forward, what you would see in the following year, you would see that we would follow those students up. And so the following year, the vision would be grades 4, 5, 7, 8, and 9, 10. You can also see at the bottom of that chart, in that 7, 18 column, is the whole goal to increase access in pre-K 3 at those grade levels. So not getting to a 1-to-1 at those grade levels, but increasing the ratio of computers to students, so increasing access. And then finally, in the third year of that plan, you would see that the rollout would be entirely grades 4 through 12, and then from thereafter, we are cycling through the devices and purchasing about a third of the devices each year, but we'd be a full 1-to-1 environment in grades 4 through 12 with supporting professional development. So going back to where we're at right now, the goal is to grow the betas, okay, and then if referendum funding is available, to prepare that infrastructure and move towards that 1-to-1 the following year. So growing the betas, one of the main purposes of this screencast is to advertise and promote this opportunity. We have 2 beta opportunities for next year. The first one is open to all teachers pre-K 12, okay, or pre-K through our ABE. And we have spots for 75 teachers to receive an iPad mini and Air server, and then some corresponding professional development. And that would happen yet this spring. Devices would be handed out in May, and teachers would have those at the end of the year, into the summer, and ready for next fall. This would not be a 1-to-1 environment for those 75 teachers. However, there would be corresponding professional development regarding technology integration, and then the teacher would have that iPad mini and Air server. Air server, if you haven't heard about that, that allows a teacher to stand anywhere in the classroom and wirelessly through the iPad mini project an image through the computer and onto the screen. And so in essence, that you use that device to project image on the screen. It's a great system. So all those teachers, all 75, would have iPad mini and Air server. The second beta opportunity is targeted to grades 4 through 12, because that's where we're targeting our 1-to-1 rollout. And we have the capacity to add 30 additional teachers to have a 1-to-1 beta environment for next year. There's an application required. 30 teachers will be selected. There's intensive summer professional development for 4 days, and then professional development throughout the school year. And these 30 teachers will be added to our current group of 46. So we will have 76 1-to-1 beta classrooms next year in the district, and, as I mentioned earlier, 75 teachers in the iPad mini Air server beta. So I encourage you to consider applying for those opportunities. So again, to sum up this screencast very quickly, it's all centered on the vision of a dynamic student learning experience enhanced by technology. There's 2 beta opportunities. The Google form is in the email that the screencast was embedded in. And then just want to mention again that we're looking at the 1-to-1 scenario, beginning with grade rollout of 4, 7, and 9 in that first year, which, if referendum funding is available, would be the fall of 2016. I encourage you to view the second screencast, and thank you for your time.